Alright, this is I don't know what you want to call it, a tag response or it's a video response. But we're going to do this one specifically for Vipa 29 with the how I got my internet name. Well, we're going to go back a ways. I'm going to try and do this in 10 minutes, dudes. Forgive me. If I have to do two parts. Um, what happened was way back in I want to say it was when I was in high school, I think, or maybe a little before. I used to get my stepfather's in Pennsville. He first signed up for AOL and went on it, and this was before I knew any jack shit about Japanese animation. So what happened was I just went on forums and I forget even what the username there was, and I hung out, and eventually I stopped going over there. So my sophomore, junior, my freshman and sophomore year of high school, I got a summer job, and I got what was it? Jaguar Netlink, which was an internet service based here. It was based in Salem, New Jersey. Or was it Pennsville? It's one of two. Anyways, my username at that time was White Lion. And if anybody wants to know, I don't know where that came from. So don't, please, for the love of God, don't ask about that one. It was a screen name that I used, and I just used it for Jaguar. Anyways, eventually the contract with Jaguar ran out, and I didn't go on the internet for a while. Then I started working at the ARC, and eventually got excuse me. I eventually got AOL. Oh, here, hold on. Let me back up. Because I think it was around the time when I had Jaguar. That was when the whole Japanese animation craze started. Now, when it happened, was around the time we didn't. Nobody even knew what Sailor Moon was. Nobody knew what Pokemon was. You had to watch a bunch of the fringe stuff, and the way you watched it was you would go like Borders or Barnes and Nobles. Well, Borders when they used to be around, and you would buy like the VHS tapes. Remember those kids over here? Remember those kids? Yeah, I know you do. Anyways, so I would buy those, and I'd start watching them. Well, also, I was I started doing some research because around the time, like I said, when it was becoming a fringe thing, Sailor Moon did start airing here. Now we saw the English version at first. So then, when I was in high school, I started looking up um, the the show, and there was a site called the Sailor Moon Nexus, and it had a bunch of different websites related to all the Senshi, all 10 of them, and even characters that we wouldn't know jack squat about for years. Okay, well, when I looked up the website, I noticed that because one of my favorite characters was Sailor Mercury, or as it was spelled then, Amy, Amy. When I looked up the websites, however, the name was in Japanese. The Japanese spelling was AMI. So I'm thinking, all right. Then I started reading through her bio pages, the different character pages. People put up the bio. However, I always read that she was an only child, which she was and is. So then I started thinking to myself, what if she had a brother? So the bro or brother part comes in there. And here's where it gets really neat. Check it out. Because when I signed up for AOL, or some people know it AOL, back in the day when we just used dial-up, the name I used then would become the infamous or famous Amy's Bro. The reason it's spelled without an apostrophe, because yes, I know it's supposed to be AMI apostrophe S. The reason it's spelled without, the reason it's like basically mashed into one word is this. Whenever you when you were registering for your username, when you're signing up on AOL, they did not allow for characters. Apostrophes, dashes, blah, 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 blah. You were allowed numbers and letters, no characters. So it just became AMISBRO, which is, as people can tell whenever they try to say the name, you can tell whenever people try to say name in videos for shoutouts or just mentioning it, they always say me's, or they would always say something else. It's a me's. But the Japanese spelling makes it look funny because it's A-M-I-S. Here's the easiest way for me to do it for you. Pretend there's an apostrophe between I and S. That'll help you save any confusion from this point forward, and I don't have to worry about trying to explain it to people. Here's the problem. Every time somebody asks me, do you have an email address? For the most part, I have to deny it and say, no. Because I know if I tell them yes, they'll say, all right, what is it? And rather than trying to say it to them, I spell it so they don't try to go, huh? Which, trust me, I get a lot of looks like that, like, huh, what the fuck? Are you serious? And to this day, that has been the email address I use. Now, for anybody that wonders, I do have a username on Yahoo Messenger, which is another Sailor Moon based name, but I'm not going to put that name here. Maybe it might about me some point, but that's it. So that is the story about the username, and I hope you all enjoy that. I may have tried to straight up a little bit if I'm trying to fit in 10 minutes, you know how that is. Yes, 10 minutes for video responses. Isn't that weird? Anyways, you have a good one. I'll talk to you later.